I just keep hearing like get ready. It's time to prepare yourself instead of questioning if something is actually going to happen, okay? Um like it's too late to get scared at this point. Because I'm getting that like something is about to happen to you where you just need to say yes despite how afraid it may make you. Like, you have to ignore the bubbling up of a bunch of fears and questions that arise because this is something that you desired. Like, you literally cried and, like, you know, you know, I would say, like, you desperately called out to the universe or prayed or petitioned, whatever, for this thing. Um, like, and I just think that you're not mentally prepared for it because you doubted that it was going to happen, okay? It's like a significant lifestyle shift, which is why you had to sort of like your identity has changed so much and your character has developed, and it's just vastly different than what it was even a couple months ago, right? Like, I don't want to say like, well, I'll just say like everything that you've been through has been to shape you and form you into the person that's able to receive this, because there are former versions of you that would have just been like, no, I can't do this, you know what I mean? So it's giving like, say it's been your dream your whole life to like act or something, right? But a part of you is just kind of like playing around and like, yeah, haha, like as if that'll actually happen, but it would be so nice and it is my dream, right? And then you end up getting like a lead role on Broadway or something. You know what I mean? It's someone like, oh, you've been a dancer your whole life, and we're like, oh, it's always my dream to, I don't know, like, I don't know, perform at the Nutcracker, or, I don't know, be hired by like I don't know, give me so, like I don't know, like Beyonce, like to be a backup dancer for like some massive concert or whatever, and then you're actually getting the opportunity, right? So it's too late for you to be scared. You can't say no to that, right? This is your dream, right? So it's giving that. It's one thing to hope and wish and be like, one day, or it would be so nice if, right? It's another thing when you are approached with that dream and then the fear starts to come up. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, one day my face is going to be on a billboard in Times Square, right? It's another thing to conceptualize how many people are going to see you and the fact that your face is literally going to be blown up on Times Square. Okay? So it's something like that, to where this is a dream that you've always had, but a part of you was kind of like, haha, yeah, as if that'll actually happen, blah, 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 and then it's actually going to happen, right? And I'm just keep getting this sense of it, like, scaring you a little bit. And, this is kind of, like, silly, but it still applies, right? I don't know, some of you could have honestly, like, manifested your celebrity crush, actually, or someone who is, like, identical to them, you know, like, in all the ways that you are attracted to them, right? It's like somebody who, this is kind of silly, but say there's like you have like a specific type that you've always like dreamed of being with, but you always thought they were out of your league or just whatever. You never had the opportunity to actually be with somebody like that, and then you actually end up like being chased, and not in like a toxic way, but like somebody who is exactly like that, has like a healthy obsession with you or whatever, and then it scares you, right? And you're so nervous around them you can barely speak, but this person is again like healthily obsessed with you, but they are kind of like everything that you ever dreamed of and ever wanted, and they treat you like so well, like better than you could have even hoped for, that it makes you speechless. Again, it's like one thing to manifest and romanticize something in theory, but it's another for that experience to actually materialize before you, and for you to like be a little bit shaken up. Like, it's one thing for someone to dream and like manifest becoming a billionaire. It's another for you to literally become one, and then you're just like, what the freak do I even do with all this money? And then don't delve so deep into fear that you are like, I don't know, like there's no need to panic, but it is giving the sense that like a lot of people in this collective are so you've like acclimated to receiving like bad news so often that it's like, I don't know. I think that you are never going to quite get used to all of the good news that's going to come back to back infinitely forever and all of that. I think it will always kind of like make you speechless and make you a bit shocked, okay? Like, I'm getting, honestly, some of you guys have accidentally manifested your dream job. If you're like, oh, I wish that I could just travel to beautiful locations and see the world and like, you know, have all these beautiful experiences and stuff like that. It's another thing to get an email, a letter, or whatever, an offer from somebody, that you met or whatever. Just having like a serendipitous kismet sort of situation to where like they're like, hey, could you be ready to leave by the end of the month type of thing. And so, like, if you've made it this far in this message, honestly, you have to, sorry, I don't know where it cut off because the like low battery thing went off, but I was getting that it may be hard for some of you to conceptualize what's about to happen to you because there's like a small part of you, and that part is going to linger to keep you humble, but it's giving that some of you could have grown up in like a trailer park or the projects, or like, you know, you didn't even go to college, maybe. Maybe you dropped out of high school, right? Or like, maybe you are a server at a restaurant or something like that, and then your actual dream life is still going to unfold for you, and you're like, some of you could have been through like raised in environments that were really like, I almost want to say like putrid, and I'm not saying that to shame you or to be mean or anything, but you could, like, it literally could have been like, you could have dealt with environments that were like, physically like filthy and stuff like that, and like unhealthy environments, unclean environments, and then you're about to, I don't know, like, it's gonna, you'll stay at the Ritz a couple times a year type of thing. It's just that you have to understand that like the more people who are sort of awakening, like, there are people who are activating that are in various stages of life, that are in various positions of authority, who have certain things, okay? And if you've gone through an ego death, you know that, like, it can change everything that was going on your path, right? But it's a sense of, like, you know, I don't know. There's just like this viral energy to it sort of spreading or whatever, and I'm also seeing like an event horizon, like of a black hole or whatever, but it's something to where the energy is just sort of like picking up momentum and speed to where it's bending time space in some way. I'm not really going to get into that, but it's like vessels in various positions that have the authority to sort of like, I don't know, I want to phrase it as like activate the portals that lead to your dream life. Like, those individuals are awakening or have awakened, and they've gone through their own healing processes, right? It's not just people who are like going through times of like struggle who awakened, you know. It's people whose lives who are also technically like good, who also are awakening to their purposes as well. Um, you know, And so again, it's like things that, your family may have said, that was impossible for you, or that was never going to happen, or even just things that, are seen as highly unlikely. And please, if we're on TikTok or whatever, like, try to trust the signs that are popping up on your FYP, especially if it's like weird or oddly specific and you're like, why is this coming up for me? Why is it showing me this? There's something like they're trying to show you, like, if it's showing you like random movies you've never seen, or random edits of things like back to back out of nowhere that you haven't like thought of or been researching, it's doing that for a reason. And so you have to sort of like use your intuition, allow your imagination to flow. If you have a hard time, using your rationality, right? And try to figure out, use your discernment, like, what is it telling you, because it's indicating some truths about how like this dream life of yours is actually going to unfold. Okay, so like, you kind of need to just mentally prepare for saying yes and not being afraid of actually having your dreams.